I am Dr. P. Saravanan, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, King's College of Engineering, Punakulam, Pudukkottai. Today, we are going to discuss about estimation of hardness by EDTA method. It is in first unit of engineering chemistry, water and its treatment. Estimation of hardness by EDTA method. Before discuss this topic, we have to understand hardness of water. What do you mean hardness? Hardness is a property or characteristics of water. It is caused by presence of calcium magnesium ions or calcium magnesium salt in water. If the water contains more amount of hardness, it will cause some troubles to the industrial activities. So that we have to estimate the hardness in the water. For that purpose, we are using EDTA method. So what do you mean EDTA? EDTA is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. See the structure. This is a structure of EDTA. Since the EDTA is insoluble in water, its disodium salt is used as a complexing agent. We cannot use directly the EDTA. We have to use sodium salt of EDTA. Why? The sodium salt of EDTA only form a complex with hardness producing ions. Principle. Okay, now we are going to discuss about our principle. The amount of hardness causing ions like Ca2 plus, Mg2 plus can be estimated by titrating the water sample against EDTA using Eriochrome black tea indicator at pH 8 to 10. In order to maintain the pH, the buffer solution like the mixture of NH4Cl and NH4OH is added. Only this pH such complexation is possible. The Eriochrome black tea is simply we can say EBT. EBT means Eriochrome black tea. When EBT indicator is added to the water sample, it forms wine red colored V complex with calcium 2 plus and magnesium 2 plus ions. Now you see the reaction. The calcium 2 plus Mg2 plus ion in hard water, while adding EBT indicator at pH 8 to 10, it causes intermediate complex, that is unstable complex, is called wine red colored V complex, CaMgEBT complex. When the solution is titrated against EDTA, it replaces the indicator from the V complex form stable EDTA complex. When all hardness causing ions are complexed by EDTA, the indicator is set free. The color of the indicator is steel blue. Thus the endpoint is the change of color from wine red to steel blue. This is a principle of EDTA method. See the reaction here. After adding EBT, it forms wine red colored unstable complex, that is CaMgEBT. While titrating with EDTA at pH 8 to 10, it forms stable complex, stable colorless complex like CaMgEDTA, and set free EBT is color is steel blue. Okay. Before starting this method, we have to prepare some chemicals for this method, right? So now we are going to discuss about preparation of solutions. First we need EDTA solution, right? The EDTA solution is prepared by dissolving 4 grams of EDTA in 1000 ml of distilled water. Secondly, we need standard hard water for standardizing the EDTA, right? So standard hard water is prepared by 1 gram of pure calcium carbonate dissolved in minimum quantity of HCl and made up to 1000 ml using distilled water. Next, we have to prepare EBT indicator. Okay, so the EBT indicator is prepared by 0.5 grams of EBT is dissolved in 100 ml of alcohol. And last, finally, we have to prepare buffer solution. The buffer solution is used to maintain the pH 8 to 10, right? The buffer solution is prepared by 67.5 grams of ammonium chloride and 570 ml of ammonia are dissolved, and the solution is made up to 1000 ml using distilled water. These are the preparation of reagents is used in the EDTA method, right? Next, going to the experimental procedure, right? We have three types of experimental procedure: titration 1, titration 2, titration 3. Titration 1 is named as standardization of EDTA. How we standardize the EDTA? We don't know the concentration. So in this titration, we have to find out the concentration of the EDTA, right? The pipette out 50 ml of standard hard water into clean conical flask and 10 ml of buffer solution and 4 to 5 drops of EBT indicator and titrate it against the EDTA solution taken in the burette. The end point is change of color from wine red to steel blue. After forming the steel blue, immediately note the value from the burette. That is, the volume of EDTA consumed be V1 ml. You note it in the observation note, right? And second titration, estimation of total hardness of water sample. In this experiment, we have to find the total hardness is present in the sample hard water. For this purpose, pipette out 50 ml of given water sample into a clean conical flask. Add 10 ml of buffer solution and 4 to 5 drops of EBT indicator and titrate it against the EDTA solution taken in burette. The end point is change of color from wine red to steel blue. Let the volume of EDTA consumed V2 ml. You note it. And third titration is estimation of permanent hardness of water sample. In this titration, we have to find out the permanent hardness present in the given water sample. For this purpose, take 100 ml of this sample hard water in a 250 ml of beaker. Boil it for 15 minutes. During the boiling, temporary hardness producing salts gets removed or precipitated. Then cool and filter the solution and made up to 100 ml in standard flask by adding distilled water. From this solution, we can pipette out 50 ml of made up solution into a clean conical flask. Add 10 ml of buffer solution and 4 to 5 drops of EBT indicator and titrate it against EDTA solution taken in the burette. The end point is the change of color from wine red to steel blue. Let the volume of EDTA consumed V3 ml. The V1 ml is corresponds to standardization of EDTA. The V2 ml corresponds to estimation of hardness. V3 ml is corresponds to estimation of permanent hardness of water sample, right? Next, we are going to discuss about calculation for each titration, right? First titration is standardization of EDTA. 1 ml of standard hard water, it is equal to 1 milligram of calcium carbonate. 50 milligram of standard hard water is equal to 50 milligrams of calcium carbonate. The 50 ml of standard hard water consumes V1 ml of EDTA. Therefore, V1 ml of EDTA equivalent to 50 milligrams of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness, or we can say 1 ml of EDTA is equivalent to 50 by V1 milligrams of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness. By using this concentration of EDTA, we can calculate the hardness of water. Come to the calculation of second titration, named as estimation of total hardness of water sample. Here, 50 ml of given hard water sample consumes V2 ml of EDTA. Already we know that, right? It is equal to V2 into 50 by V1 milligrams of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness. Therefore, you know 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 by V1 milligrams of calcium carbonate. Therefore, 1000 ml of given hard water sample is equal to V1 into 50 by V1 into 1000 by 50. Simplified, we can get 1000 into V2 by V1 milligrams of equivalent hardness. For finding the total hardness is equal to 1000 into V2 by V1 ppm. By using this formula, we can calculate the total hardness of water in the sample water, right? And calculation for third titration, named as estimation of permanent hardness of water sample. 50 ml of sample hot water after boiling, filtering and cooled consumes V3 ml of EDTA. We know that already we noted, right? It is equal to V3 into 50 by V1 milligrams of equivalent hardness. We know 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 by V1 milligrams of calcium carbonate. Therefore, 1000 ml of given water sample is equal to V3 into 50 by V1 into 1000 by 50. It is equal to 1000 into V3 by V1 milligrams of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness. Therefore, permanent hardness is equal to 1000 into V3 by V1 ppm. By using this formula, we can calculate the amount of permanent hardness present in the given sample water. Then finally, we will calculate the temporary hardness. Okay, for this calculation, the temporary hardness it is equal to total hardness minus permanent hardness. Simply you know that we can subtract the permanent hardness from the total hardness, we can get temporary hardness. So according to calculation, it is equal to 1000 into V2 by V1 minus 1000 into V3 minus V1. Therefore, temporary hardness is equal to 1000 by V1 multiplied into V2 minus V3 ppm. By using this formula, we can calculate the temporary hardness. So, by using this calculation, by using this experiment, we can calculate the total hardness and temporary hardness of the sample water. If the water contains more amount of hardness, like permanent hardness or temporary hardness, we recommend the removal of hardness present in the water. Okay, I think I understand all the concepts. Thank you all.